Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Alrighty. I'm surrounded by perverts. Hi, Carrie. Hope y'all are good. It's date night. We'll take a little bit of a departure. We're going to go the opposite of hell. Go with the guardian spirit. Just because the last route we got to see a lot of Minami, so rather than just jump straight into a Minami route, I'll let that simmer a little bit, and then we'll do guardian spirit, demon, and then secret route, which is probably a god. We'll see. But yeah, hope you're doing well. All right, let me get this game going. I had a moment today where I was pressing the panic button a little bit. My Switch, the screen went yellow, and I was like, that's not good. That's not right. And luckily, it was just a hard reset. It was not like a blue screen of death. I was a little worried it was, but I think it was just one of those things where it's like I hadn't updated the firmware in a little bit. I don't think an excessive amount of time, but probably enough that it was like, hey, get this together. Today I went to Costco with my brother during lunch, and I think I mentioned it. There were these like Lunar New Year pillows that were on sale at Costco, but they didn't have the one that I was, that was requested. That was like the little dragon lion face. I think, yeah. I get mixed up between the two, but yes. So, dragon lion face. Last time I went, they did not have that one. This time I went, and there was one. So his wife wanted one, and her sister wanted one. I want one, but it's okay. I was like, you should go home the hero and give this to your wife. And he's like, okay. He's gonna check back again for me and see if there's another one. Feeling festive. Hope you are too. Oh, hi. Hi, surrounded by perverts. Oh, you're helping string the tree lights. Very nice. You didn't miss too much. I was just saying that, oh, the stream was dark for a second. I see. You didn't miss much. I said hi to both of y'all. Thank you for being first. And, yeah. All that happened is I talked about Costco and how we found one of the pillows I was looking for, but only one. So I need 3 of them. But yeah, froze. I don't know what to tell you. It works on my machine. Yeah, same for you. Okay, hold on then. Let's see if it's both of you happening. Let me see what I can do. Okay. All right. Good, bad, ugly. Okay. Well, hopefully it works. I didn't really toggle anything. I'm just checking on my own screen. But anyways, hope you had a good start to your week. So, or almost end of your week. Oh my gosh, it's Thursday. Yeah. Persistently choppy. Give me a second. Let me close some. Let's see, I'll save that for later. Alright. Close some tabs. See if that helps. Okay, close that. Close that. Keep that. Okay. Other things. I'll close this. Alright. I'll close this. I'll close this. I'll close this. And then I'll close this. Just closing a million tabs. Hopefully that helps. Otherwise, I don't have a lot of good solutions because it is working on my machine. So I don't know what to say. Let's just do our best. Let's do our best. Let me see. All right. From the start.
知ってる?
Alright, no quick load. No quick save. Alright, how do we...
カラン、カランと音色を立てて
Jump
落
to
として
unread
なく
text.
した
Yes. Or option, yes. The only option we have. We're going to speed run through the parts that are exactly the same for, you know, most playthroughs and get to the part where it's new route.
そうこの鳴りみ
Jump! Warp! Why? Right.
もしも
So only
一度でも振り向いて
only
しまっ
two
たら
options. All right. Let me see. Let me pull up the walk. Skipping through the music because sometimes it just gets too loud, and especially if we're having lag issues, that might be, yeah. Hopefully it's a little bit better now. All right, Yukimaro. Y. Okay. All right. Okay. That's my name. Don't wear it out. All right. Speed, speed, speed. Well, like I said, I'm not sure what other things I could toggle on and off. It's, I believe y'all, and, but again, it's very difficult for me to tweak things when it's not really kind of having a problem on my screen. Like I said, I believe you. I just don't know what to do about it. That won't make it worse. So we'll just do our best. In all fairness, the weather is kind of bad. It was a little rainy today. Although I'm in a different situation. I'm in the new place, so I don't know if the internet gets knocked out the same way it did at the other place, but maybe. But like I said, I did shut down a bunch of things. What else can I shut down? Mentally. I'll close this guy. Close this window. Okay. See if that helps. All right. We're going to escape reality with something delicious. And then we're going to go and pray. I say we pray just to make it today. Here we go. Warp. All right, this is like our first time kind of meeting Yukimaro. We're at the temple, and he shows up. So more parfait. All right, the option is give up. I gave up and faced Yukimaro. Please don't follow me home. I was clear and firm in my rejection, but for some reason, he smiled. Why is he smiling?
やっとまともに口を聞いてくれたな。さっきまで仰天するばかりだったからの。
Sorry. A little bit of a Wizard of Oz. I pulled the curtain back. You could see some things happening. I feel like, is the sound okay? I feel like it's so quiet in my ear. His joyous smile threw me off. Honestly, looking at him like this, he just looks like an ordinary person. I immediately shook my head. Just don't follow me. You could throw one or two in every once in a while, just very sparingly, you know? Don't wear it out. Yeah, sounds okay on your end. Thank you for confirming. I pulled my hand away from his and immediately started to run. If this was a dream, I wanted to wake up, and I felt the only way to do that was to push him away. I did my best not to turn around and look at him as I ran out of Tsukumo Shrine. I ran as fast as I could for quite some time, before stopping when I hit my limit. I bent over my knees and tried to catch my breath. I looked up and noticed I was already near home. If I've made it this far, I should be okay. I fearfully turned around, yet saw nobody behind me. Is he gone? Did I escape? Still anxious, I continued to look around, seeing no trace of him. I hurriedly took out my phone and called Sayaka in a panic. After several rings, she finally picked up.
Hi. どうしたの?
Hearing my friend's happy tone, I finally felt like I had returned to reality. Sayaka, you have to listen to me. Perhaps out of a sense of relief, the words burst out like water from a broken dam. I realized it didn't all make sense, but Sayaka said nothing as she listened to me. She didn't even laugh.
何それ私も会ってみたいんだけど。つくも神社か。あそこに妖怪伝説があるとは。
Classic Sayaka. Though given her love of the occult, I don't know what I expected. Not once did she doubt my story. I imagined her on the other end of the phone, her eyes sparkling, her body lurched forward with excitement.
座敷わらしだと子供の姿をした妖怪だったよね。
Yeah, but he didn't look like a kid at all. He totally looked like an adult.
それについては諸説あるみたいなんだよね。でも幸せにしてくれる妖怪だよ。出会えてよかったじゃん。
That's our Sayaka. Are you kidding? I just want to get rid of him.
私も妖怪に関してはあんまり詳しくないんだよね。神主さんに見えてないなら払ってもらうこともできないだろうし。
Guess you're stuck with it. Oh no!
あ、そうだ。こっくりさんをやってみたら?
Sayaka's voice leapt, though, as though she'd come up with the world's best idea. Forgetting the situation I found myself in, I rolled my eyes. Impressive as always, Sayaka. Regardless of the question, the answer always has something to do with the occult. Girl, you got a spirit on your back.
文句言わないの。やり方をメールで送るから、きちんと読んでからやるんだよ。
Okay. Guess it's worth a shot. As soon as I finished talking with Sayaka, I rushed back home, desperate to find a solution to this problem. Alright, so it's still very similar to Kureha's route. So I'm gonna guess that maybe we don't mess up the summoning, but maybe. I don't know. Once in the door, I locked it tightly. I have no idea if locks work on spirits. Still filled with fear, I entered the living room. Asian guy, hello! Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. We're starting a new route. You haven't missed much. We just did a speed run through the parts that are almost always the same. And now we're starting we're still seeing some repeat, but it's on the way to a diverging path. So we'll be seeing new stuff pretty soon. No one else had arrived home yet, and the space was painfully quiet. Ah! My phone suddenly rang, and my whole body leapt up off the ground. I can't believe I'm scared of my own phone. I figured it was Sayaka and quickly opened up the messaging app. As expected, it was a message from Sayaka telling me how to use a spirit board, along with a message that she was worried. Read and follow the instructions on the site, okay? Until the ritual's over, you can't take your finger off the coin. Got it? You want me to do it with you? I'm studying right now, but I think I can go see you. I wish Sayaka would come, but I don't want to get in the way of her studying. I also didn't want to worry her. But she's more worried. She's already worried. All you can do is alleviate her worry. The spirit's not in the house, so I think I'm okay. Thanks anyway. Phobia. He isn't here, right? I carefully looked around. There was no one else in the room. I wasn't dreaming all this, was I? It all seemed so real. I couldn't actually have made the whole thing up, right? But seeing as he's not here right now, maybe I don't need to use the spirit board. All you can do is put her out of her misery. We gotta put you down, Sayaka. Sorry. Even though you've been mostly helpful in most of these playthroughs. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. I started to calm down and let out a big sigh. I'm exhausted. I muttered and threw my bag onto the sofa. As soon as I did that, the TV suddenly turned on and I couldn't help but scream. Fearfully, I checked the TV and saw the remote on the sofa smushed under my bag. Oh, that sure surprised me. A dry, nervous laugh escaped my lips. I'm not going to be able to handle this. That got you too. They're here. Give me a second. I keep pushing my chair back. Okay, here we go. Scooch. Here we go. I may be safe now, but if I bump into that spirit again somewhere else, I might not be able to escape the next time. I gulped in fear as I imagined the situation. Maybe I should try using the spirit board. Realizing I was only thinking that way because of Sayaka, I shook my head at the absurdity of it. On the other hand, the guardian spirit was real. I saw it with my own eyes. Then, maybe the spirit board is real too? Gulping hard, I placed my phone on the table and opened the email Sayaka sent me. Hi, baby. Hi, Mochi. Squish, 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 squish. You're so cute. Got my wallet out of my bag, took out a coin, and placed it on the table. I then took out my notebook and tore out a piece of paper. And just as the image on my phone showed, I wrote letters in a shrine archway. Okay. I did exactly as the site Sayaka sent me to instructed and took a deep breath. A part of me didn't think anything would happen, but another part of me had high hopes, thinking this might solve my problem. Spirit board, please come forth. I placed my forefinger on the coin and spoke out in a quivering voice. Some time passed and nothing happened. Maybe I should try again. Spirit board, please come forth. The lights in the living room started to flicker, and I caught myself almost letting go of the coin out of fear, yet I managed to endure it. I can't let go of the coin. Sayaka was very clear about that. I took a deep breath and steeled myself. Spirit board, spirit. Just then, the coin started moving on its own and stopped on yes. No way! I hadn't pushed the coin at all. Again, it started to move on its own. The coin glided quickly over the letters. Hurry up. Oh, no. I knew what I wanted to ask, but the fact that all this actually worked made my mind go blank. Guys, it worked. No way. No way. Give me a second. I'm getting a sip of water. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just thought of this. I'm just gonna derail stream for just a hot second. I had to go into that meeting today. It was like I woke up and it was cold and wet, and I was like, I don't wanna. But I was like, you know what though? I made a commitment. I said I would come in, and I was like, if they don't come in, I'm gonna be so mad. Well, it was just me. Well, no, sorry, just me and the two people that put the meeting together. So at least they showed up, but like none of my other colleagues or compadres showed up in person. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, it was actually one other person came in, but only for a little bit. She only came in for 30 minutes. And it was like, okay, Mochi, what you licking? But I got some breakfast out of it, I guess, you know. I didn't really like it, but it was not breakfast tacos. It was bagels but like boring bagels. Bagels and schmear and they called them hash browns, but they were more like cheesy biscuits. I did not like those. I like cheese. I like biscuits. I just didn't think this place did it really well. And coffee, which I don't drink. So, all in all, it was like, fine. Not worth it. Anyways, side tangent. I just thought of that. Okay.
小春のやつ、相変わらず不真面目な態度で仕事しようって。
The spirit from before was standing right next to me.
急に叫ぶでない。耳がおかしくなるではないか。
Yeah, that's true. It's surrounded by perverts. But like I said, I had, I made it worth my while. I got a bunch of snacks and drinks from the office. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a sparkling water, and I'm going to take a soda, and I'm going to take a Shin Ramyun cup, and I'm going to take 2 bags of chips and a string cheese. So there. made it worth it. So. How did you get in? I thought I locked the door.
主様の行くところ、どこへでも参るぞ。
Punch and pie.
それより、指を離してよかったのかのう。友の警告に反しておるのではないか。
The spirit scared me so much that I had jumped and inadvertently let go of the coin. As soon as I let go, purple smoke began to billow out of my hand-drawn shrine archway. What is this? What do I do? The purple smoke spread throughout the room, and I couldn't see past it.
よっ、待っておったぞー。
Yukimaro clapped and cheered. My money! I, on the other hand, was in a state of sheer panic on account of the smoke. From inside the purple haze, a hand reached out.
禁忌を犯したな、人間。
The man that appeared before me looked truly horrific. His eye, very close to mine, glared down at me. He looked furious. I trembled with fear and felt my knees grow weak.
それから指を離せば、こっくりさんがつく。知らなかったのか？
He could have asked me what I had for lunch, and I still wouldn't have been able to answer. I was scared beyond the capacity for rational thought.
まったく、面倒なことをしてくれた。まあいい。小娘、名を何という？
I couldn't even formulate a response.
さっさと名乗れ。人間ごときが俺を待たせるんじゃねえ。
Irritation aimed at me burned in his eye. I have to say something. What do I do? I'm gonna tell him my name. Right, so far it's following the same pathway. Lolli Ishiki. Yeah, been a while since we saw Ghost Suko, that's true. My throat was closed tight, but I managed to say my name out loud. chill, we already kissed. Yeah. In the future, in the past. When I answered, the man before me softened and smiled ever so slightly.
素直なのか、恐れ知らずなのか。怪異相手に名を教えるのは得策じゃねえぞ。
I only told him my name because I was so scared of him. I was worried he might do something worse to me if I stayed quiet. And yet, me telling him my name did seem to make him relax slightly.
ま、素直なやつは扱いやすくていい。気に入ったぜ。俺の名は小春。今日からてめえは俺の犬だ。禁忌を犯した代償を払ってもらうぜ。
With that, he roughly let go of my chin. I'm going to pay? What do I have to do? His words struck fear into my heart, and I couldn't help but ask what he meant.
俺の手足となって働けばいい。期限は、俺が満足するまで。
What?
かっこつけた登場だったの、小春。
A voice suddenly resounded in my ears, cutting between Koharu and me. That's right, Yukimaro's here too. Koharu's entrance was so intense that I'd nearly forgotten about him.
なんでてめえがここにいるんだよ。
さっきからいたのだがの。お主が煙なんて撒くものだから見えなかったのだろう。演出があだになったな。
Still, he's taking the wind out of his sails. Yukimaro. Do these two know each other? Haha, getcha. I stood there dumbfounded, looking back and forth between them. Koharu was so intimidating earlier, but Yukimaro seemed to throw him off. Flashing back to his intimidating self, Koharu suddenly turned to me.
なんでこいつがここにいる。
Well, you see, supposedly he's my guardian spirit.
は？
Yeah. You forgot that these two have the exes that can't agree on when they stop dating energy in their
ほう、ようやく認めてくれたか、我が主様。
That is the only way to explain the situation, right? I rushed to explain the situation, which only seemed to please Yukimaro more. His face was the total opposite of Koharu, who was furious.
おい、犬、仕事だ。雪丸を追い出せ。
Well, I can't. I mean, that's why I used the spirit board. I wanted to ask you to teach me how to get rid of him. Koharu grunted, looking truly vexed. Yukimaro, on the other hand, put his hand on his chin and casually began to speak.
ふむ。ならば今日から3人で暮らすことになるのか。
It was the most surprising thing I'd heard so far that day.
にぎやかになりそうで楽しみだな。
No, no way! Please, get out! I protested, but Yukimaro smiled happily back at me. It seemed I wasn't getting through to him at all.
たく、なんでよりにもよって雪丸のアホが一緒なんだよ。てめえが儀式を正しくやってたら、俺がつかなくてよかったってのに。
Oops,
てめえが儀式を正しくやってたら、俺がつかなくてよかったってのに。面倒なことしてくれたぜ。
I'm so sorry. What should I do? I wished for somebody, anybody, to get me out of this. I started praying when suddenly...
3人ではないです。
The Three Stooges. It wasn't the voice of Yukimaro nor Koharu that chimed in. I turned around and saw a boy dressed in strange clothing floating in the air. This voice, his appearance? Oh! Zukoharu really wanted this to be dramatic and intimidating, then Yukimaro hijacked it. Yes.
うん。わしが払ったのは子供のような姿をしていて、 ふわふわと宙を舞うもののけでしたぞ。
So this is the boy that the priest supposedly got rid of? I like the play on words, by the way, surrounded by perverts. I don't know if I called that out so obviously, but very nice, very nice.
これは神様。どうしてあなた様がこちらへ？
God?
何を白々しい。僕が払われるのを見ていたくせに、おかげで彼女を守れなくなっちゃったじゃないですか。
The boy seemed to be pouting. He certainly wasn't acting like a god. I couldn't help but stare at him. Then our eyes met.
ああ、どうしよう。目が合っちゃった。
The boy seemed deeply moved, almost to the point of tears.
こうして視線を交わす日が来ようとは。僕、感激です。
So, the voices I've been hearing for the past few days, was that you?
ですです。あなたが幼い頃からずっと見てきたです。僕はあなたに13年間寄り添っていたです。
Why 13 years? He spoke with so much pride, but I couldn't help but take a step back.
うわー、ストーカー発言を堂々とされるあたり、さすがは神様ですな。
たまるです、この下道が。
なんだってあやかしと神がついてんだよ。お前、普通の人間じゃないんじゃねえか？
I'm not like other girls. Just kidding. I honestly don't know how to respond to that. Stalking the common ghostly pastime. Yeah. Surrounded by the ruckus, all I could do was stand there at a loss. Just then, I suddenly heard the front door unlock.
ただいま。
Oh, welcome back. About all these people.
この人たちって誰のことなの？
Oh, that's right. She can't see them. Oh, nothing.
変な子ね。
In all honesty, I was just relieved she didn't scream upon entering the room. But the relief was short-lived. Surrounded by the ruckus.
あら、これってコックリさんじゃない？
Your cousin? No. You brought a Ouija board into the house? Get out! No daughter of mine! Oh. I don't know if it's in the stars for me to be like a parent someday, but that is gonna be one of the irrational things that I'm gonna have a problem with. Be like, no. You bring that into the house, you sleep outside. That's, yeah, disown you. I disown you. Let that spirit feed you. Ask your ancestors where you went wrong. I'll tell you. Bringing that shit into the house.
さやかちゃんオカルト大好きだから一緒にやっていたんでしょう。
Yup, exactly. She mentioned she wanted to try it out. Sorry, Sayaka.
懐かしいわ。お母さんも学生の頃にやったっけ？せっかくだし一緒に。
No way. No way! Not gonna ask the Ouija board for nothing. Nothing! It either is or isn't, and the Ouija board is not a part of that. Not part of the equation. No! We can't! Absolutely not! This isn't something you should take lightly. I swiftly snatched the spirit board paper from the table. I'm going to my room.
ちょっと。
She's like, but I want to talk to your dad! Too soon. I ignored her calling out and ran out of the living room. You guys can come in now. I returned to my room and changed out of my uniform. I called them out. I called out to them when I finished. They're like, we've been here the whole time. We're perverts. We like to watch. Just kidding. They got, Yukimaro, Koharu, and the boy who called himself some kind of god. I swiftly invited them into my room. They stood before me as if it was the most natural thing in the world, and I sighed. As I changed, I'd mulled them over in my mind. I can't run from them or get rid of them, which means I need to convince them to leave. Concluding that I had to persuade each of them, I started with Yukimaro. All of them. We've seen you naked like 1,000 times. This is nothing new. Oh no. Oh no.
まだ見習いである。主と決めたものを幸せにすることが我の仕事なのだ。
Green Yoshi, hi! Oh, thank you so much for the 6-month sub. Appreciate it. And yay, I'm glad you love the look. We're getting festive here. Yeah. Little lolly dear. Yay, I hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. You haven't missed much. We're mostly seeing like repeaty stuff right now. But we are studying the new route. We are going to do Yukimaro. Thought it would be a nice break from hell. But yeah, so it's kind of following a lot of the same story plot as Koharu. So he's in this playthrough right now too. He's got so we did the spirit board thing. We messed up the spirit board, so it's Koharu, purple guy, Yukimaro here, and then Toka, the pink-haired god. So, oh, I'm glad to hear you're good, Green Yoshi. Good. Me too. So if his goal is to make me happy, then all I have to do is feel happy. I'm plenty satisfied with my current life. I'm happy, so please see yourself out. I spoke with confidence, but Yukimaro pointed his fan accusingly at me.
クーリングオフは受け付けぬ。
Takesies backsies?
お主が我の主様だとすでに座敷わらし協会に届け出を出したのでな。
A well-deserved treat after getting put through hell with Seiya. Maybe. TBD. I don't know what he's gonna be like, but hopefully it'll be a nice one. They've got paperwork. They've got admin and paperwork in heaven too. What the heck? Seems like bureaucracy is still happening in the alternative planes. What the heck? Guardian Spirit Society? Does something like that really exist? Even ghosts honor the sacred right of takesies backsies.
座敷わらしってのは今の時代は組合になっていてな。
They were like, basically we took a page out of the hell playbook, and they were like, hey, how come they're getting their stuff done so efficiently? Why? Wait, what the here is wrong with this place?
人間を幸せにしてって変わったあやかしたちのボランティア活動みたいなもんだ。
Thanks to Koharu's explanation, I got the general idea about what they did, but that idea of a ghost union really gets you. I know. Do they have a ghost DMV? Is it better? Is it the same? As a human, I was surprised to know that such a group existed.
主様が神社を全力疾走した後、教会に連絡しておいたのだ。
That made sense. He didn't follow me because he was submitting the paperwork to be my guardian spirit. Wait a minute, what am I saying? None of this makes any sense. The whole thing made me feel so powerless, but I regained my composure and began to speak. So why did you choose me as your master? The ghosts are going on strike.
神がついている人間などそうはおらぬからの。面白そうだと思ったのだ。
Hearing that, I looked over at the boy. You're that god?
そんな他人行儀な言い方をしないでくださいです。
No one would be allowed to die anymore because that would be crossing the picket line. Yes, they'll call you a scab.
僕にはトウカっていう名があるので、そう呼んでください。
Right. I felt kind of bad. Toka certainly didn't act like a god, so it was hard for me to see him as one.
いつもはあなたを見守っているです。時には矜持を与えたりもしますが。
矜持って。お前、いや、あなたは天狗なのですか？
いかにもです。僕は天狗の一族。人々に矜持を与えるのが仕事なのです。
But it's... Hey, Mochi. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Go on. I love you. I love you. So sweet. But isn't that a bad thing? Yes, that's... What, Mochi? What? You already got your Choritos. You already got to go outside. You already got your BLUEBERRIES. Oh. You know, I finished saying that. Give me a second. Let me give little Mochi some blueberries. I didn't know she would bark after I finished spelling. Like she knew. BRB. I'm just gonna get her a little blueberry so she'll relax. Okay, I am back. She learned. Yes. If you keep spelling it, the Pavlovian conditioning is going to kick in. That's literally the first time I ever spelled it in front of her. She just knows. Dogs just inherently know when it's snack time. She popped her head in the door, but she didn't go all the way. But isn't that a bad thing?
はいです。疫病神なんて言われたりもするです。
Oh.
でも僕は自分の仕事に誇りを持っています。だから何を言われたところでへっちゃらです。
So many impossible thoughts filled my mind, and I struggled to keep up. So a Tengu is a god who casts burdens on people, and he's been stalking me for a while now. I took a moment to look back on my life. It's like, remember when your dad died? Oh, too soon? Oh, this Tengu. This is tragic. Ever since I was a little kid, I've had terrible luck. School trips and field days were filled with rain. Every time I visited a shrine, I drew a bad fortune. Oh, and that one time? There were so many small things, but they occurred with such frequency that even I started to believe I was unlucky. So all this time, all the bad luck I've had in my life until now, that was all you?
違うです。あなたは自ら矜持を招く。それは既得な人間なのです。
Only did the good ones. Well, since you said that you're not getting my root anymore, As he looked at me, Toka's eyes drooped dreamily. Dreamily?
まさに教授の申し子。僕が夢中にならないわけないのです。
That's bad news. It's like, I didn't give you any bad luck. You already had it within you this whole time. The bad luck was inside you, in your heart. You just needed to believe. Oh. Hearing what he said, I grew pale. I think I might have talked about this before, but I have a friend who, I don't want to feel this way, but I do think she's bad luck. And I adore this friend, and she is still my friend regardless, but she's, I just feel like she is always telling these stories, and it's like, are you okay? Like, I don't know. But I mean, I guess she's making it, so maybe it's a situation like this, where it's like, she is being looked out for, but it just happens to be somebody clumsy, right? So maybe the real bad luck was the ghost we seduced along the way. Maybe. At least one in particular. Hearing what he said, I grew pale. In other words, because I was so unlucky, I caught the eye of the god of burdens. And he was just like, nice. I don't even have to do anything. He's just taking pages out of my playbook. He's just like, oh, I didn't think about that. I didn't know that could happen. Let me do that to somebody else.
てめえの体質のおかげで神に見入られるとはな。
That isn't funny at all. Gosh, how could I be so unlucky? Huh? But didn't the priest exorcise you? Why are you able to show up like this now?
そうなのです。僕、あなたに対して力を使えなくなっちゃって。でも、無力な僕でも神は神ですから。僕がそばにいることで、このあやかしたちからあなたを守ることができるです。
Well, guess we'll see. Give me a second. I want to look at the voice actor for Kuharu, because the way he laughed just now reminds me of a different laugh that I heard in a show. So I'm just curious. Characters. Koharu. Voice actor is Yohei Azakame. I don't think so right off the bat, but Yohei Azakame. All right, what are you known for? Oh, he's a handsome fellow. Behind the voice actors. Okay. All right. Here's let's see. Ooh. And I haven't watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but he plays Gyro or Yiro. Okay. Ninja Gaiden, Super Fire Emblem. All right, let me see if there's something like known. First of all, he's not in the thing that I thought maybe he sounded like. His laugh sounded like. He's in Honkai Star Rail. He plays Maide. Dr. Stone. A lot of video games. Let's see. Sword Art Online. Mobile Suit Gundam. Prince of Tennis. Spriggan. The TV show. Digimon Survive. Alright. Games. A lot of video game credits, so good on him. My teen romantic comedy snafu. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Ensemble Stars. Sakura Wars. Alright, well, nothing that I'm like immediately like, I know. that's okay. No Gucci in Infinity Castle. Which one's no Gucci? There's no picture. I just don't even remember. Oh well. Oh, I see. So you're going to get rid of these spirits for me, right?
それはさっき言った通りなので、あなたについたあやかしも追い払うことはできないです。
Just like that, my hopes were crushed. Yukimaro laughed, clearly entertained by the whole situation.
それならばどうして現れたのか。
邪魔するくらいできるってか。
Surprisingly, Toka laughed as he slowly shook his head.
彼女のそばに神の存在があることをあなた方に知らしめるのが目的ですから邪魔はいたしません。良いですか？あなた方のせいで彼女に何かあれば僕がいることをお忘れなきように。
ほう、これはこれは。
Toka's expression, even his voice, seemed to have changed.
お前、やばいもんに目つけられたな。気の毒になってきたぜ。
That includes you too, Koharu? I kept my comment to myself, unable to say it directly to his menacing face. If you feel that way, why don't you just leave?
それとこれとは話が別だ。
He shut me down fast. Ugh, what am I supposed to do now? Seeing as they weren't likely to leave anytime soon, I sagged my shoulders and hung my head.
ご飯ができたわよ。今日は翼から遅いって連絡あったから2人で先に食べちゃいましょう。
Okay, I'll be right down. First things first, I should probably eat something. Then I'll...
やれやれ、やっと飯にありつけるのか。
Huh? Wait, come to think of it, he...
それで主様の家はどこなのだ？腹が減ったので美味しいものを馳走してくれ。
Absolutely not. My mom's home.
その通りです。なんてずうずうしいあやかし。恥を知りなさいです。
腹が減っては幸福を与えてやれぬ。神様は主様が不幸になってもよいと。
幸福は自身で掴み取ってこそ。甘やかすだけのあやかしが彼女の成長を邪魔しないでほしいです。
天狗が言いそうなことだ。見入られた人間はたまったもんじゃねえ。
ああ、神にそんな口を聞いていいんですか？
そうだぞ小春。この口うるさい神様に矜持を与えられても知らぬぞ。
てめえはどっちの側なんだよ。
口うるさいって何ですか？
As the spirits bickered, I sighed so deeply it felt as though it was coming from the bottom of my heart. Toka looked over at me and waved his hand as if he was shooing me away. Does this mean I should leave while I still can? It seemed like he was distracting them for me. Thank you, Toka. I silently thanked him in my mind and rushed out of my room. During dinner alone with my mom, I felt so uncomfortable as I thought about spirits. They had yet to show up so far. Who knows when they will, though.
何かあったの？さっきから落ち着かないわね。
Oh, no, nothing. I rushed to focus on the plate before me.
何でもないってわけではないでしょ。落ち着かない理由は隠し事があるからよね。
Wait, don't tell me. My mind raced through impossible scenarios, including my mom having a sixth sense and being able to sense the spirits.
電話をしても出てくれないばかりか、折り返しても来ないし、私が帰ってきた時も逃げるようにして部屋に上がってしまって。
Crap. I totally forgot she called. I'm sorry. I totally forgot you called. I felt like I had to hide it. I didn't think you'd figure it out.
そんなわけないでしょう。さやかちゃんのお母さんにたまたま会ってよかったわ。
Sayaka told her mom?
進路希望調査票。どうして黙っていたの？
Her words were totally unexpected, and time seemed to stop for a moment. So much has happened. I totally forgot about the survey. A different type of tension crept up my shoulders, and I gently put my chopsticks down. Busted. I need to tell her that I'm thinking about not going to Seikin University. Those thoughts echoed in my heart, but I couldn't formulate the words.
聖銀大学一択だから言わなくてもいいってそう思っていたの？まあそれですでに提出しているのならいいのだけれど。
I didn't submit it yet. Mom gave me a dubious look. I wanted to run away from her gaze and turn my eyes down to my plate. You see,
もう決まっているのだから早く提出しておきなさい。
Wait, Seikin University is not...
そうそう、聖銀大学のオープンキャンパスに申し込んでおいたわ。
What? I looked at my mom in disbelief. Why didn't you ask me?
相談も何も。聖銀大学の医学部へ行くのは決まっていたことじゃない。
It's true that I never specifically said no. I didn't want to go against her wishes, but that simply wasn't the case anymore. I feel bad that you went through all the trouble applying already, but I can't go. To the open campus, I mean. I don't really want to go into medicine anymore. I'm sorry it took me so long to tell you. Finally, I was able to tell her. It wasn't exactly the most elegant speech I'd ever made, but I was finally able to tell her.
そう。でも、今は興味がなくても、後から湧いてくるわ。
What the? I just told her that I didn't want to go. Why is she still... Why do you want me to go so much? I'd always sensed this had something to do with my father, but I wanted to hear her say it.
それはもちろん、安定と高収入が見込めるからよ。
I wasn't expecting her to respond that way, and so I merely blinked back at her, dumbfounded. That's it?
今はわからないでしょうけど、これは大事なことよ。
But if that's what you want for me, then it doesn't have to be the medical field, right? You bring shame to this family and dishonor your father. You might as well have said you're using a Ouija board to make your career choices. Even if it's a job I'm interested in doing, if I get in a company that's stable.
それじゃあ聞くけれど、あなたの希望する職種は何なの？
Well, I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have anything I wanted to... Oh! Thank you for the hydrate, gentle reminder. Appreciate it. I did have a sip just a second ago, but I'll have another. All right. My mom smiled.
何もないならオープンキャンパスに行きましょう。それがあなたのためよ。
It's no use.
模擬授業や入試の説明会もあってね。絶対にあなたも気に入るわ。
It was pointless to say anything more at this point. I'm full. I stood up and took my unfinished plate over to the sink.
全然食べてないじゃない。
I no longer have an appetite. I couldn't even look at my mom. I couldn't help but sound icy as I replied to her.
ちゃんと食べないとダメよ。さっぱりしたものがいいなら今から作るから。
I don't want anything. I'm just tired. I'm going to my room. Usually after dinner, we'd hang out in the living room together, watching TV and talking. But today, I just couldn't bring myself to do so. I swiftly walked back to my room with my head hung low.
ああ、我の飯が。
残りもんでもいいのかよ。
何を言う。 残り物にこそ服があるのだぞ。それにしても神社で神頼みしていたのはこのことだったか。主様は悩んでおられるのだな。
進路なんて自由に決めさせてやればいいだろうに。
彼女のお母さんにとってはそうもいかないのです。
ほう、さすがはストーカー歴13年の神様であられるな。家族関係をよくわかっておられる。
ふんふんふん。僕にかなうストーカーはそういないのです。地獄にいる悪魔以外には。
Oh, talking about Minami. It's so popular, y'all. I'm gonna be popular. I returned to my room and stared at my PC. I sensed the three behind me, but they all seemed to understand the situation. They all remained quiet. I didn't want to say it like that, but I just couldn't stand how one-sided the conversation was with Mom. The same thoughts continued rolling over and over in my head. I kept sighing. I searched things like career path stress, career path parents' wishes. I wondered how many people faced the same kind of stress I did. I found myself desperately seeking answers. I then took out the career path survey sheet and let out a big sigh. The due date to turn in the paper was getting closer and closer. What do I do? I won't be able to submit it at this rate.
主様、少し良いか？
I heard Yukimaro calling out to me from behind, and so I turned around.
今の主様の状態では考えても答えは出ぬと思うのだが。
But I have to submit this career path survey. Besides, my mom thinks I don't know what I want to do, and at this rate. As I spoke, I looked down again. I heard Koharu, who was sitting close by, sigh aloud.
あいつを見守ってる神様さんよ。手助けしてやらねえのか？
自らで乗り越えることこそ成長につながるのです。
真面目な神様なこった。ま、俺にすればあいつはただの犬だ。
Although his words sounded dismissive, for some reason, Koharu stood up and walked over toward me.
おい、犬。ちょっと付き合い。
What? Now? His words were deliberate and came out of nowhere. Just as I hesitated, the sound of a growling stomach echoed through the room.
腹が減ったのだ。
The culprit was Yukimaro. He dove onto my bed and started to fling his arms and legs around like a child.
うるさいですよ。あやかしなのにお腹の虫が鳴るなんて意地汚いったらないです。
おい、犬。早くしろ。
The three started to get loud again, and I stood up from my chair, unable to ignore them. All right, I'm gonna bring them food. Let's see. I think this is our branching path. I'm gonna bring them food. That's what I'm gonna do. I looked over at Yukimaro and let out a sharp breath. Okay, I'll bring you guys some food. And Koharu, if you're going to complain about that, do it to Yukimaro's empty stomach.
おお、さすが主様。わかっておられるの。
I gotta take a little side, like a little pause. So a few years, or like I guess was it last year? I went to Anime Expo, and I met the voice actor for this character. His name is Ken, Kenn, or he goes by Ken. And very like, it's just so funny listening to his voice, because like he looks like very different than clearly very different from this character, but like even his demeanor, like he looked like a very like classy, handsome man. Like, yeah, I mean, he was really awesome. Like, you know, he spoke with, you know, he spoke on a little panel about things, and it was just like really, you know, it was really cool. But it's just so funny listening to how playful and like, you know, childlike he sounds here. So amazing work, amazing work. So yes, Ken.
ったく、雪丸を甘やかしてもいいことねえぞ。
If it'll quiet Yukimaro down, I frankly don't care what else happens. With that, I left my room. I silently went down to the living room to survey things. Mom's not here. Maybe she's in her room? Given everything that happened, I really didn't want to run into her.
何をごちそうしてくれるのだ？
Yukimaro's voice called from right behind me, and I jumped in response. You followed me?
待ちきれなくての。
I quickly gave up trying to shoo him back to my room, and we quietly walked towards the kitchen. Luckily, the food I didn't eat was still on top of the counter. Mom must have left it out for me. She even wrapped it. I can warm up the food using the microwave. I wonder if he wants rice? That's when I realized, hey, so spirits eat human food? I looked at him from the kitchen to see him waiting excitedly.
台所から盗み食いするあやかしもおるからの。墓や地蔵に備えてあるものを勝手に食べる者もおる。
Spirit bandits!
我は好意で備えてくれたものを食べておったな。
Offerings? Yukimaro, you're a guardian spirit, right? I don't know much about spirits, but are you like enshrined somewhere? Sayaka did tell me that the guardian spirits were spiritual beings who made you happy. But I've never really heard of them being enshrined. Yukimaro squinted as if he was reminiscing about something from long ago.
そういう時もあった。
There seemed to be a deeper meaning behind his words, but I didn't want to pry. So he used to be enshrined, but now is a guardian spirit in training. It's like Noragami. That's a very good show. I enjoyed it very much. About a god who, like, gods are only as powerful as, like, how much people worship them, I guess. So he's like, you know, so that's what he's trying to like gain clout. So if you're in training, when do you become an official guardian spirit?
それは主様が鍵を握っておる。
He pointed his fan towards me, and I couldn't help but pull away.
主様を幸福にすれば、見習いから正組合員になれるのじゃ。
I see, so that's why I'm the key. You gotta marry me. I need a kith. But does that make me on-the-job training? When I finished warming the food, I put the plate and bowl of white rice in front of Yukimaro. It's just leftovers, but here you go.
良い匂いじゃ。ありがたくいただこう。
Asian guy, thank you so much for the hydrate reminder. Give me a sec, I'll get a little sip. Thank you. He sat down in front of me and happily started digging in. I wonder, for people who can't see him, would the plate and food just be floating in the air? If Mom saw this, I was suddenly filled with worry. I'll just have to find a way to play it off if that happens.
手作りの料理は久しぶりで嬉しいの。真心がたっぷり詰まったものはどんなものでもごちそうじゃ。
Made with love? My mom never expected us to cook for her. No matter how busy she was, she would always make us dinner.
はあ、これは美味。それにバランスの良い食事じゃ。これを毎日食べられておる主様は幸せ者だの。
Despite being tired from work, she even thought about how to make a healthy meal for us. And yet I told her I didn't want to eat it. I'd taken my mom's kindness for granted. I gripped my knees as the realization hit me.
ちょっとわざとらしかったかの。
Huh?
我の言葉で母上のことを考えたのであろう。
Yes.
主様は主様自身でいっぱいいっぱいという感じだが、もしかしたら母上もそうなのかもしれん。
What does he mean by that? As I mulled those thoughts over in my mind, Yukimaro pushed the plate over to me.
とりあえず母上の言う通りきちんと食べるのはきつ。
Yukimaro smiled, and I couldn't help but smile back. Sorry, I cut it off.
とりあえず母上の言う通りきちんと食べるのは必要じゃぞ。
In that case, do you mind if I have a few bites of your food, Yukimaro? Yeah, the way to our heart is our stomach, yes.
よいよい。誰かと共に食べる食事ほどうまいものはない。
I brought a pair of chopsticks over and took a bite of the food that Yukimaro offered. A delicious and gentle flavor spread through my mouth, making my heart feel warm. You're right, it's delicious.
良い笑顔じゃ。久方ぶりに腹がいっぱいになりそうじゃな。
I never thought a spirit would cheer me up. But having spent some time together with these spirits, I felt I was starting to understand them. Let's eat the parts of the food he took a bite out of. Indirect kiss. He doesn't seem like a bad spirit. Seeing his smile, I found myself thinking kindly of him. We'll just have to make him fall in love with us. It sure does fill me with relief to see her eating while looking so content. Earlier, she had seemed so dejected. It was nice to see her looking happy. As I stared at her, she suddenly looked bashfully up at me. Could you not stare so much? It's kind of hard to eat with you doing that.
うん。それは我慢してもらおう。我の栄養補給中なのでな。
Replenish your nutrients.
主様の笑顔が我にとって栄養なのだ。
Oh, this guy. In that case, I'd rather you just eat. She still doesn't get it. Her smile is like no other form of nutrition. I wish she would smile even more. I wish it from the bottom of my heart. As a guardian spirit in training, I'd made so many mistakes. Nothing really had gone well up until now. But I feel like her and I are a good match. No, I know we're a good match.
主様、これからよろしく頼むぞ。
Where did that come from? She stared back at me, visibly confused by my declaration. This is only the beginning. Oh, very sweet. After I returned to my room, I took the career path survey that was sitting on top of my desk. Yeah, we better be a good match. You never know. You never know with these games. What should I do about this? I muttered to myself and quickly got an answer.
しなきゃいいだろ。
I turned around to see the three of them there.
お、小春もたまには良いことを言う。主様の状況が見えてきて情が湧いてきたかの。
そんなんじゃねえよ。うだうだ悩んでうざってってだけだ。たたってるこっちがめいっちまってイライラするんだよ。
You're ruining my haunting. Gah! Gah! Hearing Koharu put it in such selfish terms irritated me too. He doesn't even know what I'm going through. Even if he's intimidating, I couldn't stay quiet about this. This is about me, so please, don't meddle. I spoke clearly and harshly, and for some reason Koharu returned my words with a smile.
言うじゃねえか。そうやってはっきりものが言えるのに。
主様、小春はな、それが主様を焦らせているのなら、一度頭から切り離すのが良いだろう。そう言うておるのだ。
勝手に美化してんじゃねえ。
Take my mind off this? So I should just try and escape? Not fully understanding what he was trying to say, I cocked my head in response.
てめえには何のために口がついてんだ。ない頭ばっかりひねって時間を無駄にしてんじゃねえ。
主様は考えすぎて空回りしておる。それは時間を無駄にする行為。
提出先に待ってくれと言えば済む話だろ。
もう少し待ってほしいと言えば心に余裕が生まれる。そうなれば良い案が浮かぶやもしれん。
Oh, Yukimaro is very sweet.
てめえはさっきから勝手に翻訳してんじゃねえよ。
They are a good duo. A good foil, right?
小春の言うことは分かりづらいからの。付き合いの長い我しか分からぬだろうに。
I hadn't even thought of that. I'd been trying to run away from reality for so long, I was unable to see the whole big picture anymore. That's why I couldn't even come up with an option to talk about with my teacher. Koharu took a step forward and gave me a stern look.
命令だ。明日、提出を待ってくれと言ってこい。お前に拒否権はない。犬は主人に従うまで。
He spoke forcefully, yet there was a certain warmth in his words.
命令とあらば、主様は従わなくてはならぬの。拒否すればどんな目に遭わされるか。ああ、恐ろしや、恐ろしや。
He said the words with such dramatic flair, I couldn't help but giggle. You're not the boss of us, Koharu, but you kind of are, because that's how the haunting works. You're right. I guess I have no choice but to do as you say. Hearing my words, Koharu smiled. However, he seemed to notice me watching, and his expression returned to his usual scowl. Koharu? Why are you giving me so much advice? He scratched his head and looked away.
しけた面されてった。たたりがいがねえってだけだ。
His cheeks flushed red with embarrassment. So even if I thank him, that makes him blush? In that case, then I have no choice but to comply, Koharu. He smiled faintly.
そろそろ眠くなってきたの。さて、心情を共にするわけにもいかぬ。
ああ、そうだな。人と関わると疲れて仕方ねえ。
We're so popular. I didn't know spirits slept. Just as they were about to leave, Toka, who had been quiet this whole time, glided towards me.
おやすみなさい。眠っている間は気配を消しますが、変わらずあなたを見守っています。
When I say I'll erase my aura, I just mean I'll be invisible and I'll watch. Wait, does that mean he's going to stay? I won't be able to sleep like that. Toka, please rest somewhere else. I chose my words carefully, but he returned my pleas with a serious gaze.
そばにいることはしません。ただ、あなたの夢を守るだけですから。
Oh, that's right. He's protecting me from Minami.
だから、ゆっくり眠ってください。
My dreams? I didn't know what he meant by that, but as long as he wasn't literally there with me, I'd be okay. Thank you. After hearing him say he'd protect me, it felt only right to thank him. After they left... Sorry, give me a second. I accidentally clicked off. After they left my room, I got ready for bed and climbed in. Finally, I let out a big sigh of relief. So much had happened that day. Yukimaro, Koharu, and even Toka. Yet despite how terrible my initial reaction to them was, I felt having them around relieved the panic I was feeling in my heart. Guess they're not such bad people after all. Well, I guess they're not really people, huh? I laughed wryly and turned off the lights. And then somebody said, "What's so funny?" I felt like I could get a good night's sleep. Immediately after thinking that, I fell asleep. Yay! We did it. All right, a good start. A good start to this next chapter, you know. So, all right. Will we? We don't have, like, let me think about this. Unless I start, like, doubling up on chapters, we won't finish this before 2026. Before 2026. Unless I, like, I don't know, holiday season's coming up. Maybe I'll throw some extra ones. We'll see. We'll see. I'll figure that out. Maybe if I start, like, an hour earlier, we could get 2 in. So, but as you know, saving the game, good game hygiene. Cha-cha! All right. Well, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I hope y'all had fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think Yukimaro's is going to be a sweet story. So, you have an opening shift at work tomorrow. I see. Well, no worries. You know, I'll be around. So, yeah, if you're able to make it, awesome. If not, totally understand. That's totally fine. But yeah, thank y'all so much for coming. Like, yeah, my next stream is tomorrow on Iriam. We're gonna do Study Buddies Japanese at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, like I said, I'll hope to see you then. So, yay! All right, thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye bye. Bye bye.